Hello there, guys, and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for another Hangover review. First of all, our apologies for not doing one in a little while, but we were just busy and no point, and all these kind of things. Who we've got on today, as you can see, is good old Sammy. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, obviously, a bit depressed after that result, but other than that, I'm all right. Yeah. So, first thing I want to say is after that review yesterday, I sort of have to take a little step back because I feel like it was a bit too harsh. The players who I criticised and the way I criticised the team, I'm happy with that, and I still stand by that. I was just a little bit too harsh. Like, it wasn't that bad. Like, we only let them have 2 shots on goal. We were just kind of unlucky that they scored both. I mean, fair enough. We sort of, those bits where we are unlucky, our fault, and we could have scored 2-3 easily ourselves, but it wasn't as bad as I made it out to be. But anyway, obviously we lost yesterday 2-0 against Tottenham at White Hart Lane. Not great. Not taking our chance to get 8 points clear at the top of the table, and not taking that winning streak to ourselves. But nothing you can do about it, I guess. And to everyone who keeps hating and say, like, we lost to all the London clubs, well, we might have done. Well, we're still 5 points clear of everyone else. So you can talk all you want, but still not win.
Winning the league doesn't mean beating your rivals. It's about how many points you get at the end of the season. So who cares, to be honest?
Exactly. So overall, Sammy, what do you think of the game? Like, what are your general thoughts?
I'm going to be honest, because of the first game against Tottenham in the Bridge, I do think that was our hardest game of the season. So when playing in White Hart Lane, I did feel a little bit scared. So I was expecting the draw, not a loss, but we just wasn't at it.
Yeah.
Alonso wasn't 100% fit, and we have played quite a lot of many games this month, haven't we? So
yeah,
I do understand from the players' sake, it was quite a difficult match in fitness. So I don't know if it's due to that or Tottenham just outclassed us, because I can tell by the way they played. Pochettino focused on killing Alonso and Moses, and they look like their plan worked. So fair play to Tottenham.
Yeah, no, you really have to admit, like I said in my review yesterday, Tottenham really did play the perfect Mourinho-esque game, didn't they? Like, only 2 shots on goal, but winning 2-0, and they completely dominated us. Like, yes, we did have some chances that we could have taken. We could have been 1-0 up after 5 minutes if Hazard wasn't a complete idiot. But that's how it went. And you have to give credit when it's due. But as you said, they did. Walker and Rose are really good players. They're quick players. They're good going forward. They're good defensively. You saw with the first goal we conceded, Moses was just not. What is their positional awareness? Like, how does he not realise Luis, Aspie, everybody's going up to go put the whole line further up, but he just didn't move, and that's the only reason why the Ali goal counted, because he just didn't move, and that's obviously annoying. I mean, I get the sort of the criticism on me that he's not a wing back, he's not a defender, but he's been playing there since September. So, like, you must get used to it at some point. And if he wasn't any good at it, Antonio Conte wouldn't play him there. Yeah. So he must be all right with it. He was just asleep in that moment, I think. But like you said, on the wing they just outdone us, like the wing back position. But what was the main problem, in my opinion, was central midfield. Like Dembele and Wanyama, they just ran over Conte and Matic, even though Matic was all right. But we just didn't get to any balls in midfield. They won every second ball, every third ball. And they just outran us. And Kante's passing, what was that? You're not going to win a game when you keep making stupid, silly passes to your position or making it difficult for your teammates when you pass it to them. Of course it doesn't work. But yeah, obviously they scored in the injury time for the first half. When I talk about unlucky earlier, it's unlucky to concede in that moment. And then even Conte said in this interview after the game, when they scored their second goal, that was probably our best period of the game, because we came out in the second half all guns blazing. We really tried to get into that game, and they just scored in the worst moment. But what my problem with the 2 goals we conceded wasn't even Moses, it wasn't even Courtois for the second goal. It was just, we just did not, like, close them down. We just didn't put any pressure on them once they got like closer than 25 yards, which we should have done. And that's why Eriksen was free to cross for both goals.
Yeah, and that was the issue of last year. We let the opposition cross and do their thing, where our defence last year was just watching them, letting them cross, And that's what happened yesterday, and that's why 2 goals were from crosses and headers. So it does make sense.
Yeah, no, it really does. I mean, of course, you get the slight disadvantage when Azpilicueta plays centre back, and Tottenham knew that. It's not a surprise that their players that were strong in there, in Ali and Kane, were mostly on that side of the pitch when crosses did come in. They put in very few crosses from the other side when the headers would have been against Cahill and David Luiz. That's not a surprise, and you will get that if you play an actual fullback at centre back. But he still needs to be helped out a little bit. But I talked about the Hazard chance earlier. We could have been easily 1-0 up after like 5 minutes. He really should have made a 1-0 early second half when he had a header in like the 6-yard box and just put it wide for some reason. When it was, I think it might even have, it was 2-0 at the time when Lloris cleared the ball and he got it. Lloris was not in his goal. And he didn't have a shot. Like Hazard was really not on his game yesterday. And like I said in my review, what annoys me about Hazard, he only plays well when the whole team plays well. Yes, you could say the whole team plays well when he plays well, but it's not like at Arsenal Sanchez when he's ever the only player that sort of tries to pull it together and tries to get them out of the shit. Like for us, that's Costa. Like he always tries his arse off, even when it's not happening for him. But he always tries. And Hazard, what is he doing when it's not working? Walking around, making silly sideways passes that are useless. It's just... What do you think of Hazard? Is that an attitude problem or what's going on there?
I can't criticize him in this moment because we've done with the whole team, because we've won 13 games in a row. They've been absolutely amazing, and then all suddenly to have a bad game, it's quite hard to talk about individual problems because 13 games is a lot.
Yeah,
and they've been amazing. So if there was really problems, we would have seen problems in them 13 games. So I just see it as a one-off.
No, I completely agree. That the thing is just we haven't been 2-0 down in any of these 13 games, and the opposition, except maybe Man City, haven't really been a lot better for more than 45 minutes than us. So the first half, it was all right, even though like we played poorly, but I didn't feel like an attitude problem. The longer it went on in the second half, I felt a bit of an attitude problem with some players.
Yeah, that's the only problem with the winning streaks. When you're winning for such a long time, and we're usually the teams that score first. When it doesn't go your way, we start to panic. That's twice this season we've gone from 2-0, which was Liverpool, and then obviously yesterday, and we just didn't look like we was coming back. So because we've been winning so many games, 1-0s, or we've been losing 1-0 and then come to win 2-1, it just looked like we panicked yesterday. Just didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it really did. Like what I was thinking at half time, because as I said, as we talked about earlier, that midfield, it just, we were outgunned, outrun, out everything pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
If we switched to a 3-5-2 and just put 3 men in the centre, I think we would have been more than all right.
I would have put Batshuayi much more earlier because
that as well.
Conte's A and B plans didn't work.
Yeah,
we didn't play terrible, but it just didn't work. We needed an extra man up there.
Yeah, but even before we went to another, like at half time, I would have brought Fabregas on straight away just to give us that extra man in midfield.
Just change a little bit.
Hazard doing anything anyway. So if you get that one more guy in the midfield, first of all, you've got a guy that can play better passes to Costa and Hazard. That's an advantage because our passing first half for the whole game actually was dreadful. But everyone, like the only good pass we had was that Matic pass in the 5th minute. After that, it was just terrible by everyone. And like, of course, that wasn't going to work. I mean, I don't want to criticize Conte because we've had 13 wins in a row, and we're like top of the table. You can't criticize it, but even a great manager, even when it's going well, sometimes you just get it wrong. But yeah, like you said, wing backs, and like we've both talked about, we definitely need strength in there, don't we? Like we simply do not have cover.
What was your thoughts on Pedro and Costa? And they had their little disagreement. I think that was a little bit embarrassing because that just set the mood for Chelsea yesterday.
Yeah. At the same time, I know where you're coming from, but on the other hand, I feel like Costa had a point. Like, what was Pedro doing? If Pedro made a better run, he could have drawn the defender away from Costa. Costa would have gone through into the box and would have been able to have a shot. And if he doesn't do that, at least Pedro make a better run so Costa can pass it to you, because he didn't do either of the two things. So I get it, this disagreement thing. But on the other hand, you can also feel like Costa really tried and really was like pissed off that it wasn't happening. So you always have these.
Yeah, I've said Alonso's and Pedro's probably one of the worst performances. Even though Alonso did do a few good crosses, like
Not many.
But so that's probably their worst performance. Actually, it's probably the team's worst performance, isn't it? Actually, no,
Yeah,
Arsenal.
well,
Arsenal
yeah.
won that, yeah.
But ever since we changed the formation, that was definitely the worst performance.
Yeah.
Like, my thoughts after the game, I know a lot of people disagree with that, but it's just my thoughts. Costa and Cahill are the only two players, in my opinion, that could have gone home yesterday with the head held high. Because as a combination of trying the hardest and also like playing at least close to their ability, you can't say, yes, Costa wasn't incredible, but he never is great at passing. Like, he always has a few stupid misplaced passes, keeps the ball for too long. He always does that. But at least he properly tried, and he had by far our best chance on goal. Like, it was a good shot from outside the box. First, a good save by Lloris. And Cahill, even though he had a few sloppy moments and had to take a yellow card after taking a bad first touch, he put in some incredible tackles. He definitely had commitment. That's why I'm saying that. Matic, of course, he has that. He played well. I think he was definitely our best player in the middle. But he was that guy that didn't close down, that didn't put pressure on the opposition when they got closer to our goal. So I can't really say he did incredibly well.
I'm a little bit worried now because winning 3 points and winning for a streak is a completely different thing. Where in a streak, you always think about the future. So you're like, yep, we've got to win next game. Let's carry this on. So you're fighting for something. Where an ordinary game, 3 points, is less. It's like less motivated. So I don't think we'll be as strong as we saw Chelsea in that 13 streak anymore.
I agree to some extent. The other thing you could obviously say that the players might have felt the pressure of getting their record yesterday. That was, played a part in that performance as well. But yeah, whether we'll be that strong again, I don't know. In my opinion, we definitely do have to, get some strengthening. There've been talks about Ricardo Rodriguez from Wolfsburg, who is a very good left back. I'm not sure if he's quick enough to play a wing back position, but if Conte wants him, I'm pretty sure he is.
Who would you, if we buy signings?
Yeah,
would you do a signing for the first 11, or would you strengthen the bench? I personally think we should strengthen the bench and then look for other solutions for the left wing back, because Alonso, I think Alonso could be strengthened. So what would you do? Would you strengthen the bench, or would you look for someone in the starting 11 to be replaced?
I kind of do a bit of both. So like in centre midfield, it's more difficult to sort of find someone that will immediately come into the team unless we get Vidal, which I don't think will happen. But if we do, if we have a chance to sign him for fuck's sake. But yeah, left wing back, sign someone to replace Alonso. Like, I think he sort of outperformed himself a little bit over the last few games, or the last that winning streak. Really, he's not a bad player. He really isn't. But when it comes to games like Tottenham against a really good team, against Kyle Walker, he's just
you need that world class.
Tiny bit not good enough. Yeah, no, exactly. So alongside Ricardo Rodriguez, we've also been linked with Alexandra from Juventus. Whether they will let him go, because he's one hell of a player, but sometimes they do play Evra instead of him. So maybe there is a chance, and Conte really wants him. In my opinion, probably the best left wing back there is out there, other than the obvious ones as in Alba, Marcelo, and Alaba, if you'd play them as a left wing back. But I think Sandro's probably.
Guillem would be a good solution.
Guillem would be good, yeah. No, he's definitely a good player, but I don't think he's just as good as Alexandra. Cheap, of course, and easier to get, probably. But if we could get Alexandra, I'd be more than over the moon. I talked about in the video we uploaded yesterday, the transfer show. We talked about Frank Cassier from Atalanta Bergamo. Apparently, I've just seen earlier that we're preparing an improved bid for that because they rejected our first bid. I've never seen him play. I don't know. I always have this argument: why do we sign young players in that position when we've got Chalobah there?
So many youth players, don't we?
Yeah. But then again, if he's just better, why not? Because like we've seen today, we simply don't have replacements. We don't have replacements for if Conte plays badly. We don't have a replacement if Matic plays badly. Yes, we can bring in Fabregas, but that's a different type of player.
Our bench is too weak.
Yeah, you have like good names on there, as in Fabregas, or could be John Terry or Zuma or whatever. You have good names, but it's just not one-for-one replacements that you sometimes need. Of course, you can't have one-for-one replacements for Hazard and Costa. You can't. And for Courtois.
We've got more players on the bench for defence than So we have Fabregas, Schobler, and then our defence. So in attacking wise, we haven't got good replacements.
And also talking about attack, Batshuayi, like I liked him in pre-season. I liked him when he played against Bristol. But
Watford.
clearly, Antonio Conte doesn't rate him. I don't know whether that's a training problem or whether that's an attitude problem. I don't know what's going on.
He doesn't play, so it has to be training, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be, because Costa suspended, doesn't play. Yesterday, 2-0 down, he comes on 85th minute. How many touches did he get? 1, 2, if even he touched the ball. I'm not even sure. Like, we really have to sign a striker, because if Conte doesn't believe in our second choice striker, we need someone else when a game went like yesterday to put someone on that Conte trusts in. Because if we had a striker on the bench that he trusted more, I'm 100% sure he would have brought him on earlier.
I don't even want to buy a striker. I want to get strikers back. We've got Remy, we've got Traore, we've got Tammy Abraham. But Traore, obviously, he's not world class because he's still new to the Premier League. But last season, he really impressed me. I do not know why he went.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, and he's happy to play on the bench because he doesn't expect to start, doesn't he? So he'd be happy as coming on as a sub.
Yeah, no, it's always this sort of in my head, this argument I have with myself. Do I want like 40 million striker or 40 million pound players to really improve our team massively, or get like players like Traore back who could become good, but will we know when that is? You know, how good they will come. It's always this argument that I have in my head. And then when you think about it, the point of signing Batshuayi was like, there's no point at all. Like, if he's not being used, clearly not Antonio Conte signing, because otherwise he would be playing. And, instead of having Batshuayi on the bench and never plays, I'd rather have Traore there. And because Batshuayi, except in the first 2 games where he assisted Costa and scored 1 against Watford, he hasn't played and he hasn't done that much. And we paid 33 million for him.
Yeah.
So, and Traore, at least now, would have been cheap. We bought him then, but would have been free.
Would an expensive striker come to us when they know they're not going to compete with Costa?
Well, yeah. I mean, I still think Conte's general idea is to change to a 3-5-2. I think that's his main idea. It's just not our squad is suited it yet. Yeah.
So this is a new team to it.
Yeah,
and this is you new formation to the players.
Yeah, no, it still is. Like you said, it's only been 4 months. It's not long, in football terms. But if we change to 2 strikers, you could obviously buy 1 massive striker, whether that's try to get Griezmann or whoever. I mean, of course, you could play Hazard next to him, but there is a possibility of signing a huge striker if you place 2, because no one has to sit on the bench. But I mean, going back to the game, actually. How bad were our set pieces? Whether that was Hazard or Pedro, how bad were they? They never go past the first man, whether that's a free kick or a corner. How bad were they? Like, we scored a fair amount of goals from corners this season.
Crosses, I understand, it's impossible to get 100% good cross rate and a pass rate. So in passing, I understand, because Tottenham were really defensively. They had a very good structure. They narrowed it down very well. So I praise Pochettino very well for that. But the corners, they didn't even get into the box. They went straight to the defender. That's where I can say the player was at fault.
Exactly.
But it's in the second half. I think, was it Moses or Pedro's corner? They went straight in.
Pedro's and Hazard both had corners that didn't reach the first man. Yeah. Like, you say they defended really well, but Hazard had 2 sitters. And then the one where you could have shot from 30 yards into an empty goal. Like, he's good enough to score from that. But yeah, obviously we talked about the lineup changing to a 3-5-2. But even if we don't change that, would you try to play Fabregas instead of Conte? Even though Conte was his first bad game, but isn't that what you do? Even when you have a bad game, you put someone else in who hasn't played badly in a while. Isn't that what you do? Because Matic, he's been playing really well, so you can't really drop him. Would you? I mean, of course, we play FA Cup next week, so there will be loads of changes anyway.
They need a rest anyway.
Yeah, no, they really do. But you can't just blame on rest, because Tottenham played the day after us. Like, maybe they rotate more, I don't know. But still, we had a day more rest than Tottenham. So just tiredness can't be the only, excuse.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean,
It's football, isn't it? It happens. We've done a really good run, so we know that Chelsea team is good. We know individually all the players are suitable for a Premier League winner team. So just things like this yesterday, we've just got to accept it because it's football. If we lost loads of games, then I can say we have problems.
Yeah.
So it's just hard to see it right after a good winning streak.
Yeah, of course. Like like I said in my review yesterday, but if we had to lose, we had to lose at some point. We weren't going to win every game until the end of the season. We all know.
Yeah, exactly.
But did it have to be Spurs? Like, couldn't we have lost a different game? I don't know. Like, lost away at Palace, or I don't know, lost in 2 weeks away at Leicester. I'd be right with that. Don't lose to Spurs. But yeah, I mean, we're still.
You could see the disappointment from Conte, didn't you? Usually, like managers, like with Mourinho, he just walked. Obviously, a standout. But Conte, he still shook hands and patted on the back to every player, and still went to the fans. So he's just got amazing character, doesn't he? And as he was patting their backs, you could see him. He was still like quite really angry, upset, disappointed. So that's why you just got to love him, and you can see the passion just from his face.
Yeah, and I think we'll even not maybe as in a winning streak as such. But we could come back stronger from this because this could be another kick like Arsenal. Maybe we did get a little bit complacent after this winning streak. Maybe we're like, who's going to beat us? Maybe some of the players did feel like that. Maybe it's another kick up the arse that they need, and another kick, for Conte to give them a kick up the arse just to improve that bit more, run that bit more, work that bit harder. It's just, and also, hopefully, it's a sign to our board we do need strengthening in depth. Simply because we have to rotate more because this first 11 can't play every game until the last game of the season on 100%. It doesn't work.
That match yesterday is very good for other teams, or for other managers, because we've seen so many things tried against us. Like we've seen teams like Bournemouth try and throw at the back when they've never done it in their whole life. So they're trying to all adapt to stop us, and they've all failed. So what Pochettino done yesterday is the first one to succeed. So now other managers are all going to analyse Tottenham's movements on how they played against us. So it could be quite a really bad thing for us in the long run. So we do, like you said, have to rotate.
Yeah, you could also say though, Conte knows that a lot of teams will try to play like Tottenham now. Conte could also analyse Tottenham and tell players, right, if they play like that, you do that, we win.
Yeah, so we have to, like you said, we have to rotate.
Yeah, we have to rotate, we have to work. It's just not that easy. But we're still top of the league. It's still 5 points. 5 points at the, what's today, 5th of January. It's still a lot. It's quite a big gap. It's a significant gap. And Liverpool have major games coming up. They're playing Arsenal. They're playing United. They're playing.
The teams below us will drop points heavily.
Yeah, and if we can, I can say, Dad. Where's it called? Putting snow away. Anyway, where was I going? Yeah, obviously, if we win every game, every league game until we play Liverpool, and then just not lose, just don't lose. You don't necessarily have to win at Anfield. Just don't lose. That's the main thing. If we can do that, I have there's no reason why we shouldn't win the league. It's very unlikely that we don't win the league if we don't lose at Liverpool. But yeah, so we talked about a little bit of transfer stuff. Ricardo Rodriguez, Alexandro, Francasier. There've been more and more links about Vidal, whether that happens. He liked a picture of him possibly coming back to Chelsea. Maybe he just liked it because it was him and Conte, and, good old times. I don't think he speaks English, so maybe he didn't even read that bottom and understood it. So people read a lot of things into players' social media activity. But, other transfer news, there's not really a lot going on. Apparently, James is now going to Bayern. Nothing major that I could think of now except Alexandro, Francasier, and Ricardo Rodriguez. But if any of you guys out there have any questions, let us know. Ask us questions, and we'll try to answer a few of them. But yeah, you asked me about what you do, and you talked about Alonso. You'd get a replacement in, but what kind of names, what players would you get right now? Who would you get in January now? Being realistic and not saying Messi. No, I mean you, Sammy. Sorry.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
So like you said, it's clearly on the left.
Yeah.
Is it can be strengthened. So I personally would go through Sandro or Guillem. One of them two would do for me.
Yeah.
And then I'll just get a few players in, a few wingers, but not like world-class one. Wingers from the bench that can do the job.
Yeah.
Can do the job for the last 20 minutes or something, because we know Pedro, Hazard, Willian, they're not usually fit to play 90 minutes. Or usually Hazard is, but Willian and Pedro always come off, don't they?
Yeah. You know, a player that, no links at all, but a player that would be perfect for a game like yesterday, and maybe I'm a bit biased for that because he's Austrian, but Ivanovic, like, the guy's massive. The guy's 6'5". If you like, you know, Pedro got pushed off the ball, pushed over without it being a free kick, you know, about 10 times in the first half.
Yeah.
You're not pushing over Ivanovic, are you? He might get a stupid red card, but it's like a player that gives us a different option on the wing. You know, I mean, there's no link, so we're definitely not getting him, but it would be a player that I'd be very happy with to have on the bench and have in the squad to use for certain games.
Yeah, that's a good shout, because we've seen in the World Cup, haven't we? Small and skillful is not the best football anymore. It's the strength. It's the strong and smart play, like from the Germans.
Yeah.
So I would invest in Europeans like that, strong and tall.
Yeah, because we've got plenty of like young and quick and that kind of player.
Look at Costa. He's not even fast, isn't he? But he's so strong. No one can stop him.
He's not slow, but he's not like an Aubameyang, is he?
But no one can stop him. We saw his goal against
Stoke.
Was it Bournemouth?
No, Stoke.
Stoke. That's it. Stoke, where three defenders were literally holding him, and he just pushed them all off on his shoulder and scored. Amazing goal.
So, talking about Costa, what do you think about the performance? Because I've seen a lot of people say that he's been terrible, and I'm like, he wasn't great, but like, as I said earlier, at least he probably tried.
Yeah, exactly. Even when he scores, he always does 10 stupid misses, but then scores every game.
Yeah.
So in chances wise, it was normal to me because I'm used to seeing him do this. It's just hard because he didn't score at all, but I really don't think it was his fault. He didn't get the ball where he wanted. Like, as you said earlier, he was upset with Pedro because he didn't get the ball. So I wouldn't blame him at all. I would say he didn't get fed right. Because he actually said he was trying, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he really was. Yeah, I mean, you say that with the chances, but he's had the best conversion rate of any strike in the league, like fewest shots compared to how many goals he scored. But yeah, no, he had another shot outside the box, or just inside the box, maybe that he should have done better, and he probably skied it. But it's, yeah, I just feel like at least he probably tried. He showed his passion, and like, we found out now that he actually wanted to leave last summer, and then decided to, like, yeah, all right, I'll stay.
Yeah.
And Conte talked about it and say he'll give everything for the club, and he really does. And I'm like, he wanted to leave. Why does he, whenever it goes badly, why is he always the player that has the most passion? Fair enough, you know, defenders can't really show that much passion going forward, you know, running after everything. But from our attacking players anyway, why is it always him? I know it's his personality. I get that. He's just a passionate man. But it doesn't make any sense. Like, he wanted to leave, and he's still by far the most passionate attacking player that we have. Why is that? I don't know.
Well, he's probably our fans' favourite player at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
Always, I hear Diego from stands, and he just knows what to do, isn't it? Because even his first season, he was amazing. Him being happy or not, he just still knows how to score, doesn't he?
Yeah. So someone said
it's quite hard to narrow it down.
Someone said, "You two are clowns. How can you be willing to blame Hazard for one bad performance and not Conte when he's making subs with 10 minutes left?" See, I get where you're coming from, but the thing with Hazard is, it's not just one game that he's messed up. Whenever we play badly, he's never there. So it's not just once that happened. It happened once in the last 13 games, fair enough. And with the substitutions, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Conte is just not happy with the kind of players that he has on the bench. He's happy with the first 11, but he's not happy with what he has on the bench. And that's why he's hesitant to sometimes make a change when we try to chase the result. He makes the Hazard and the Fabregas change because he likes Fabregas. He's just not that kind of player that he wants in the middle of the park if he plays a two-man midfield. But other than that, you know, he never really feels it. Yes, he puts in Willian, but with anyone else, you know, Batshuayi, or we don't really have anyone else to chase an attack. So saying Conte is at fault for making the substitutions, like, yes, I agree, he should have put on Willian and Fabregas earlier. But other than that, yeah, how can you blame Conte for, after winning 13 games in a row after we finished 10th, but what Hazard did all year, And now he's done it against Arsenal, he's done it against Liverpool, he's done it against Tottenham now. Whenever in all those 3 games, he was terrible. Whenever we played bad, Hazard played bad. So I think it's actually more ridiculous to blame Conte instead of Hazard, to be honest.
We both said we're not happy with the late subs anyway.
Yeah.
I do agree he should have done it earlier.
Yeah.
And done a half-time sub or something with Fabregas. So in sub-wise, yeah, I can blame Costa, but in actual team performance, Conte, but actual team performance, you can't really blame Conte at all.
Yeah. So again, guys, if you have any questions, put them down. Otherwise, we'll might as well, finish. But yeah, someone said, where is it now? Musonda should get a look in. I don't know. You could
he's on the left.
You could give him a game against Peterborough, but
he plays on the left, and we've got Willian on the bench, and Hazard's never going to get replaced, is he? So it's just bad timing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess all these like attacking sort of wingers, they could play on the right side as well. Like Willian originally was on the left, Pedro originally was on the left, and they mostly play on the right now because Hazard is on the left. So I guess he probably could play on the right as well. But against a team like Peterborough, give him a chance because just training. Because apparently, Conte wants to assess him, but just give him a game against Peterborough. Like he's definitely better than those players, even though you probably just get knocked over by their players because they're like lower league English football is just very physical, isn't it? So, what are your thoughts about Tammy Abraham? Well, he's doing really well. He scored 2 days ago, I think. The guy's just 18. Give him a Premier League loan next year if we can, and then not do what we did with Lukaku. Once he has that really good season at like someone like West Brom, keep him. Maybe even give him a loan like someone at Everton, but then don't sell him, but get him back.
It's hard to look at it because remember Bamford, he did really, really well with Middlesbrough, and I think he got
never did well in the Premier League though. That's what I'm saying.
And then
Premier League,
and then when he got to the Premier League with Palace, it was awful.
Yeah, they really.
So it's a completely different step from Championship to Premier League. So I would like to see him in the Premier League. I don't think he's nowhere near ready to be Chelsea's man. So like I said, I think he has to. It's a must. A Premier League loan team has to be to see if he's got any future at Chelsea.
Exactly, because
what's the point loaning him to a European country where it's not comparable to the Premier League?
Exactly.
So I think all of the loans I think every loan player should be in the Premier League because Chelsea is a Premier League team. So you need to see how they cope.
Yeah, at least from a certain age onwards, because at 18 there's no point. But
yeah, I don't agree with this. Where do they get sent to? Is it Belgium or
Holland? Vitesse. They all go to Vitesse.
Yeah, it's complete. It's not comparable league, isn't it? And I really don't agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, no, he's not going to replace Costa right now. So give him 2-3 years on loan in the Premier League. By then, Costa will be 31, and by then, Abraham will be, 21. So that would be a good time to bring him in. But
that's still young, yeah.
Yeah, really young for a striker, especially. Thomas C is asking Aspilicueta for left wing back or right wing back.
He hasn't got the attacking quality. He can cross, he can go up good sometimes, but for a player to always go up and attack, I don't think he's the right man. He's better defensive, isn't he? He's really good at defensive, so I prefer him in a defensive role than attacking.
I completely agree.
And he's slow as he's not slow. He's not fast enough to compete with like Danny Rose, Walker.
I'm not sure about that because some Chelsea players in some interview they always said he's the fastest player in the squad. I'm not sure whether that's legit. Really? That's what like Hazard said. But yeah, no, I completely agree with you, and I also think even though he lost those 2 headers yesterday, and if say you'd have Zuma there, maybe we wouldn't have conceded those 2 goals. But if you look at other games, the amount of times that David Luiz and Cahill were just too slow when he came from the complete other side of the defence, ran over there and covered for Cahill. If you play 3 actual centre backs, even though Zuma is quick, he's not as quick as Aspilicueta. So even if you play 3 actual,
give it a try.
You have that, But
that's
Zuma,
and that's good to try because like you said, we might need to buy a new left wing back. Next game is a brilliant opportunity to try that because we can see how Zuma copes with the formation. We can see how Aspilicueta fits that left wing role, and we might not have to buy a left wing player. So
I don't know.
I think that's a good shout.
I don't know. Can't see him playing on the left-hand side. He's not. He's right-footed. He can't play left wing back. He can play left back, but he can't play left wing back. It's just on the right, yeah. But that's exactly the problem. Like on the right, we have Aina who can do a job. Like he played against West Ham in the cup. He played on the left wing. He's another right-footed player. You can't, like, it's really, really difficult to play a left wing back role when you're right-footed. And talking about Zuma, of course, if he doesn't get a game against Peterborough, something is wrong. That would be weird.
He's not playing at all. Yeah. That's another thing. Say we do play Zuma as in the starting 11, like you said, it'd be better than Azpilicueta because he's a natural centre back. Where would that leave? Where would that leave Azpilicueta?
I'm saying we shouldn't actually, because I think we need that pace that Azpilicueta offers to cover for.
Oh, okay.
If we get Zuma in, even though Cahill's been doing really well, I put him instead of Cahill because Cahill is better in the air and a lot quicker. Remember the Man City game? Cahill had his fair few problems with De Bruyne and who was on that wing as well? Navas? I don't know. Or Sané. He had a fair few problems with them because he's just not quick enough. Zuma is a lot quicker than Cahill. So in the 3-back, especially just like left and right hand ones, pace there is very important. So that's why I put Zuma.
Well, that's why Mourinho dropped Cahill, didn't he, for Zuma?
Exactly.
It was because of the air.
Yeah.
And last year, all the goals were from there, from corners and set pieces. So
yeah.
So it is a good shout, but it's hard to say drop Cahill, isn't it? Because he's been amazing for 13 games, but we've got to look for what's best for the club, really, isn't it? So it's kind of tough.
Yeah. Also, like, you know, it's a question of who do you make captain, who's there to have that Chelsea sort of was it DNA kind of thing. I know he's only been around for how long? Well, 5 years now, so fair enough.
Since 2012,
yeah. But you know, you kind of need an Englishman in the team. Like, I don't know. Just maybe that's just me. Way too many questions while we ask about other things. While we talk about other things. Wait, hold on. Do you think Musonda will play? No, I don't. Do you? Against Peterborough, I don't think he will. Do you think Musonda will play against Peterborough? I don't.
I don't think so, but I think he should play. Give him a try. Because Hazard needs a rest, and we need to try new things on the wings, don't we? Yeah, that's a good opportunity to try different things.
How many teams can you play for in the season? Is it 3 or 4? Is it 2 or 3? Because if you're only allowed to play for 2 different clubs in a season, he can't because we're possibly giving out a loan again.
Well, I can only see him playing Peterborough FA Cup games anyway.
Yeah, no, he's not playing other than Hazard being injured. He's not playing on any other way.
Yeah,
and also
even still Hazard injured, William will play.
Pedro and William.
Yeah, he won't make it in the team anyway. So I think Peterborough should play. Yeah,
Chelsea, Ricardo Rodriguez. Yeah, we talked about it. Be a good player. I'm not sure if he's quick enough to be a wingback, but you know, if the club says and the Conte says he wants him, it probably is.
Keep faith with Conte.
Exactly. Play Aina and Kennedy on the wing backs. Yeah, but Kennedy, they're back to be assessed in training. They're not back to play. Same with Musonda. That's why I don't think they'll play. They're back to like have a look at for Conte. It's not back to be used, I think. So I don't think that will happen. But yeah, I mean, quick mention of Peterborough. We should really win, shouldn't we? But we definitely need a few. You know, a bit of rotation, getting Zuma, put Ivanovic in as well, because David Luiz, he's still carrying the injury from the Aguero tackle. Cahill's been playing so many games. And this guy's 31 or 30, give him a rest. You know, Azpilicueta probably won't get a rest because we don't have enough players, but, you know, you probably have to cope. Yeah, start Chalobah, that's for sure. But yeah, what else will you do against them?
I'll just, like I said earlier, I'll just give everyone the non-regulars a chance.
Yeah,
because West Ham was the Carling Cup was a good opportunity, but West Ham are a big team. They wanted that Carling Cup more than us, so that was a harder game. Peterborough, I do want to respect them, but
are they League One?
Much more weaker.
They're League One, right?
I have no idea.
I think they're League One.
But I've got to respect them, but they're not the strongest team. So I think that's more copable than West Ham.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only time this year we're going to get an opportunity for the youth to play.
Yeah. Another thing, if Batshuayi don't play against Peterborough, we might as well sell him.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no point. There's just no point. Because there's been someone has been talking about us trying to get Llorente from Swansea, who's 31. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, Batshuayi isn't that bad. Surely, maybe he doesn't try in training because he's starting to be pissed off for not playing. But what did he expect? Did he just expect to replace Costa? Like, you know. But yeah, get back Aki. Yeah, good player. But the problem is, I've seen an interview with him. He sees himself as a centre mid. He can play centre back. He's happy with that as well. Left back is his like least favourite position. So left wing back's not an option. It's just not
fast enough. Anyway.
He's not fast enough. Centre mid would be great. You could probably do a Matic kind of job. Centre back, he could work in a 3-man defence as well. Not 2 men for Chelsea. Not too sure about 3 men. He'd probably be really good as a left-sided centre back in a 3-back. Probably be really good. But whether we should bring him back, I don't think so, because he's playing regularly at Bournemouth. It's really good that he gets first team football at a more than decent club. You know, they beat Liverpool, they drew Arsenal, even though they fucked up massively. How they even drew that, I don't know. But it's a really good team, and I'd keep him there at least until the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Shit result, still top of the league. But yeah, let's just go on from here. Beat Peterborough on the weekend, and go to Leicester after that, and just try to start another winning streak. Because why not? There's more than 14 games left, so just do it this time.
Yeah,
why not? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Check out all our social media links, which are down in the description below. Leave all of your comments down in the comments after it becomes the video, and there is a comment section available. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Sammy, anything else you want to say, or sign out or whatever?
Thanks guys for 20k. The subscriber rate has been quite high recently. We're already on, what we're on now, 279. So we've got 200 subscribers in less than a week. So that's a big improvement from before. So thanks guys, keep up the good work. Make sure you like this video and the other videos. Make sure you watch my fan cams and Lawrence's reviews and Eunice's, of course. And Louis will be back, I think, around Hull or
Leicester or Hull. He should be back.
Yeah, or Leicester. There we go. So we'll see everyone soon. Keep up the good work, guys.
See, now that was one hell of an outro, mate. I don't know when Eunice is uploading his review. He wanted to do it in the morning, but then he got busy. I don't know. We'll upload it at some point. But yeah, check out my review as well. Don't slay me too hard. I know I went off on one, but I was just angry. I recorded that minutes after the final whistle. I was pissed off. I hate losing to Spurs. It's been like 4 years. No, yeah, a bit more than 4 years since we last beat them there. I'm not happy about that. Not happy at all. But yeah, like Sammy said, thank you guys for the 20k again. Keep subscribing because, it's just cool. It's just cool. But yeah, that's it from us. Up to Chelsea, upwards and onwards, because there's nothing else to do. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.